Alright. This is the first time I'm doing this, and I don't know really where to start, so I guess I'll just sort of come over things. I wanted to start recording, as I begin this project called I-dentity, motion graphic short film. It's something I've wanted to do for a while, but I haven't had the resources, and I kind of still don't, but I'm learning them, so just gonna take it as it goes. Gonna do it along the way, and I'm excited. I'm also terrified. Approaching this from a lot of different angles. Wanting this to be just a really impressive piece is an astonishingly kind of terrifying goal to have. But I really want to do it, so I'm doing it. Thankfully, I have a lot of help going forward. Being guided by Mr. Zebulon Wood and Joseph Cross, and just whoever else jumps onto the project. Maverick Watts decided to help with shooting, so I mean I just gotta get a script together. So basically, though, I mean, what is identity, right? Not what is identity, but what is like this thing I'm making. I really struggled what I wanted to do for the longest time for my like final project, for my last like my senior project, and I tried a lot of things that were more conventional. You know, doing a basic film and creating a script, saying, I'll focus on effects and I'll enjoy that, but the script never got done, and cooperating with other creatives in this capacity just didn't work. I've tried just being a secondary in a project, and it just again just didn't come together. So I decided to stop fighting my ideas and just to go with what I do, which it tends to be metatextual meditations. I really like analyzing things and finding how they come together, how they put together. Also, I'm not being very loud because I'm recording at home. Hopefully, it comes through the audio well enough. So yeah, identity is the start of something hopefully much greater. As it is, this episode of it focuses on the relationship between creator and audience. The sensibility that we create an identity for each other through content. The content is the medium to which I convey myself to you, and how you, as the audience, interpret me. I think it's a really interesting concept, and really what people take away from it is the sense of agency in a piece. Because a lot of times, like, you don't get that sense of agency. Like, a lot of people become very upset and bothered by bad media, or shows they're treasured that like get terrible reboots, or get like shitty movies. And I never got that. I never understood that, because I think that puts you at the you feel like the content become a part of your identity. And so I guess in a way it's really this sense of like, do you even know yourself? Do you know me? Do you know, like, who am I? And I think that question is like fundamentally what every piece of content asks, inevitably. So, I mean, yeah, it's like I said, it's all like weirdly metatextual and absurd, but it's something I really love. I really love to do. I said the first episode. Yes. What I would love to do is to finish this and collect a lot of talent along the way, and then hopefully, after doing so, wrap this all together into a nice package and put it onto Kickstarter or Patreon and tell people, hey, look at this. Look how pretty this is. You want more? Help me make more. And that's what I'd love to do. I'd love to continue to explore the concept of identity in various other things. That's a weird noise I just made. In like literal sense of identity, how we interpret ourselves, through where we live, the color of our skin, the things that we play, the bad things that we accept, and also the good things that we accept. A lot of how our identity is created is a recognition of how the world is. And when you run into a world that is somewhat less joyful than what you had hoped for, there's a strain And it's an unbelievable strain. And you resolve that strain by being, rationalizing the world is negative, and you take on aspects of that. I don't know. The concept of identity is very interesting to me, mainly because I've always struggled with it, and it's why making this seems important to me. But why start with creator and audience? Why not really focus in and hone in on identity in more practical and more applicable ways? And the answer really is just that this seemed the most eloquent way to begin the conversation. Detached enough from the conversation of who we are as people to not come across as being too pretentious, but being close enough to the conversation to still have something to say. And really, like, if I'm going to make a piece of content, I want to speak on that directly, because it's the only chance I'm going to have to do so. If I began the series and made the decision, if I made the decision to do it later, it would lack the same weight. It would lack the same shock. My voice, my identity, who I am, would be much more apparent to that audience. They would probably know me at that point. I would be more known. And that's the thing. This conversation about creator and how they don't know the creator is kind of the point. It's kind of important to what's being said. So that's what I'm thinking right now is, I start with this because there's the most literal basis. I have my evidence presented in front of them as the piece presenting the evidence. These will probably be more formed and coherent as time goes by, but I don't know. I feel like I should start doing something. I should start talking. I should start thinking more to myself in more practical ways, because I've always wanted to do it, but I've never felt like I could, like it was in the right place or the right things were happening. So I'll just make it happen. I'll just be what I need to be for it to work, and there you go. It's a practical solution in that I decided to start this on the day that I had a cold, and on the day where I couldn't talk very loudly. That's stupid, isn't it? Well, it's good, because no one's going to listen to the first one. That's fine. I have plenty of time to practice and improve. But anyway, I don't even know if I'm going to call this anything. I'm just going to upload it with like a silly graphic. Basically, this is the start of I-dentity, really. This is where it begins, and hopefully, when we reach the end of it, it'll be what I want it to be. It'll be the dream come true. Hopefully, but likely it won't be the same. Like, I won't even be the same. I mean, last year, like a year ago, I wasn't the same person, so I don't know what this will be. We'll see. We'll see. All right. So long. Good night. Farewell.